Don't you worry about old shop truck. She's die cast, so she's a die hard. We're hopefully gonna build the suspension on our Chevrolet to be as good, if not better, than that. So far, I have added a little bit of a cover to the bottom side of our drop box, and the idea there is actually that I plan to run the remainder of the 4-link bars off the center chunk here. Obviously I didn't want to do it right on the drop box, so I'm going to do it on the cover. I pulled these back out, sanding them down a little bit more. Definitely plan on go ahead and getting the linkage done for all 4, getting it linked up, hopefully getting it in the upright position, and maybe even on some wheels today. So, all right, so my first step, I'm taking some styrene sheet. You can see I already got it marked out how I want it. I'm gonna make tabs. How I have it marked is actually gonna be drill hole, drill hole, drill hole, etc. Right? This is the total thickness. I'm gonna cut it here with this guy, right? After I've drilled all my holes, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cut the little tabs off, one by one. And then I'm gonna glue 2 together at a time, and I'm gonna sand them down the same way I did with these pieces here when I put them together in the example before in the other video. So it's a pretty simple process. I'm duplicating it at every step because it just makes it so much more simple. And once I've got the tabs built up, I'm gonna go ahead and attach them at all corners. When they're on here, I'll pin these down and I'll start working on the inner 4-link.
Forever is the strangest thing. It's shorter than you think. No think.
And with all the tabs cut out, we were ready to rock and roll. I actually took the liberty of putting one together off camera, one on either side with a rod shoved through it. And I actually used the soldering iron and just melted the flange around it, similar like a little rivet would do. And it moves good, it works well. I'm really, really satisfied with that. And they should look great in the truck all painted up. So. Okay, and I got one somewhat put together. I've got the pin through it. It's about 3 millimeters tall, sticking out the other side. So I'm gonna set it down here nice and flat. Okay, I hope you can see that well. You don't need a lot of pressure. It's hot, okay? Straight down on it. Ooh, see, honestly, that's all the melting I want. It's too tall, okay? If I go too far from here, it'll mushroom out and be huge. So what I'm gonna do, okay, quick lesson learned from my experience here. I'm gonna sand that back down. Okay, I'm gonna try to put the pressure on the pin. I can't get it out now. I'm gonna take a little off the top of that. Okay, when I've got it roughly, yeah, that's about perfect. Roughly another, oh man, it may still be too much, good Lord. We'll try it. Big that got so fast. Don't want it to be too big. I want it to match these. They look great. So I'm gonna sand that down some more. I'm try to pull a little off of that. And trial and error is okay. You know, this is I wouldn't say uncharted territory, but there aren't a bunch of people out here doing this. So, you know, if we gotta take the extra time in the beginning to learn, understand, and cultivate new ideas, it's fine with me. I'm having a great time doing it. Let's see the other side. I think that's about right. Truly, this is looking good. Look at this. Shoo, look at this. We got 4 link tabs, and they are super effective. That's 2. Okay. No sense in showing you the 3rd and 4th, or 5th, 6th, or 7th, or 8th. I think you get it from here. Just wanted to give you an example. So hope this is inspiring people. This is not hard, okay? You don't need 3D printers to make stuff happen. Of course, they make life easy, but you can absolutely do this with just a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, a little bit of forethought, and some Googling if you can't figure it out. So let's rock and roll. And this is what the hobby table really looks like when I don't clean it up before I show you. Just wanted to give you a quick update. I didn't see the sense in showing you the exact same process for the remainder of the 4-link. It's gonna be pretty gnarly when it's done. It's obviously the back half of the remainder of the 4-link. That's probably dry enough. I can show you a little side shot here. It's pretty sick. I think you're gonna like it when it's all done. Told you we get tires on this thing tonight. A couple things have to happen first. First and foremost, I need to drill holes through here on either side. And then obviously I'm gonna run some rod through there and split the ends. Once that's done, I will flip it back over, put some real weight on it. If you don't know much about the hobby, 1/18 scale, not a lot of options. These are actually wheels off of one of my son's trucks. They're just pretty tough. And I wasn't gonna spend 30 bucks if I didn't have to. This whole build is gonna be budget if I can, because I just really think it's important to show people what you can do for minimal money. I'll be into this whole truck for probably 50, 60 bucks. You know, it's 2 complete cars ripped apart and put together with some ingenuity and some brain power. What I had to do was hollow out the back of this hole because it was one of those metal rods, and there was, you know, a bunch of crap in the way. It's not great. But I got it pretty well milled down. I want to sand it down some more. But then, you know, these come off the back of your general hobby 1/18 scale cars. There's different sizes for the hub inside. One thing that they do, if you flip them over, you put these little rings inside, it slides on to different cars that way, I guess. Or I guess this is like a bearing, more or less. It spins with inside, so it spins freely. I'm going to glue these. All right, I took these off the other wheels and just drill out, and then I'm gonna glue those in there. You know, and then I have, obviously I gotta fit these a little better. And I've got myself some, you know, I think to scale they're 44s, 46s, and like a 22-inch lift. So it's ridiculous. They're really wide, but it should look pretty wild. I think for the body style it's gonna suit. It should look pretty good. Like I said before, you know, a little bit more modern on the suspension side. I think, oh man, whew. I don't want to get you too excited, people, but if you've been paying attention, you're in for a treat. I am happy for you. Hopefully, again, this is inspiring. That's all I'm looking to do. Get people talking. 1/18 scale. Only way to go. I don't care how hard it is to build it. Just build it. All right, and just like that, everything is installed. Looking damn good. Partially sanded down just for a rough fit. Pretty satisfying, I gotta tell you. It's not what I envisioned. It changed 5, 6, or 7 times. Let's talk about the next step though. All right, we gotta get these big meats on here. And the way that I'm choosing to do it is to try to keep the original wheel set up, at least on the back where the hubs fit, because these hubs and the back of these wheels are from the same thing, this truck, right? So I want to talk about how these wheels used to encompass a 2-piece setup, right? And this piece would have this little race or bearing. It goes in like that, okay? And then when you flip it over and place it inside the original second portion of the wheel, it holds this center bearing in place. Kind of pinches it in between the wheel. This one's going to be too deep, can't do that. So I'm going to have to, thankfully I have these, just happen to have them. I'm going to JB weld, epoxy these in place. And what it's going to do is it's going to keep that bearing in place, so when I clip it onto the hub, once again, it's all fixed to the wheel, it'll keep it on there so it doesn't push through the back of the wheel, because I'm gluing these on. Once they're on, not coming off easily. I want to make sure that I can pop them on, pop them off, still be able to roll this bad boy up and down a big mountain. So just a little progress report. Once again, feeling really good about that. It's solid. Suspension doesn't have a lot of travel, but guess what? I built it and it travels. So as they say, it's something to hang your hat on.
Forever is the strangest thing. It's shorter than you think. No think. Longing is the music of our sphere. The gift of life is never more or less. It starts at any time you like and ends in just a wink.